y'all. Welcome back to Booze, Books, and Boundaries, the podcast where we sip something good, spill what's real, and protect our peace, because minding your business matters. This week's episode is called The Pyramid Scheme, because every system's got layers and not all of them are built for your benefit. So we're unpacking what it costs to climb, who profits from your peace, and what it takes to step off the structure altogether. This episode is brought to you by Bounty&Bliss, where self-care is more than a routine, it's a return to yourself. Head to bountyandbliss.com to find wellness essentials, journals, and tools that help you rise on your own terms. And let me be clear before we start. I am not a licensed therapist. I am just blessed with the wisdom from the ancestors, some life experience, and some good old-fashioned common damn sense. So you take what resonates with you and you leave the rest. So welcome back to episode 5. Now, in this segment that we call Straight No Chaser, we're going to kick things off with this week's cocktail, the Pyramid Scheme. I wanted something that felt royal, a little rich, layered, and warm, but still got a little bite to it. So because this week's conversation is all about hierarchy, who gets to be on top, who holds the foundation, and what it costs to keep your balance in the middle. So here is what's in this drink. It's equal parts dark rum, Baron Jaeger honey liqueur, and pomegranate juice with a little squeeze of lime. And I topped it off with like some club soda, or you could do ginger beer, something sparkly. And that's your trinity. It's strong and grounded, smooth and golden, and rich and loyal. And let me be clear, I'm talking about an actual honey liquor, not a honey whiskey. So do not go putting honey jack in here thinking that it's not going to punch you in the throat. So you need to use an alternative. Don't use like a honey flavored liquor. I'm talking about a liqueur, not a liquor. So if you need other alternatives beside the Baron Jaeger, you can stick with Drambuie, or which most people have heard of Drambuie, but you can use that or Irish Mist. But you can use anything smooth, sweet, and actually make the blend and not burn. Because if you put honey jack in this with that rum, you're going to be on your ass in like 2.3 seconds flat. Like it's not going to work out for you. So just add a little half ounce of fresh lime juice for that little bite of reality, and a few dashes of cardamom bitters. If you watch my previous episodes, you will see that I bought them cardamom bitters and they were high as hell. So every drink that I make, I'm going to be using them goddamn bitters. I'm telling you. So the bitters in this drink actually add a spice of mystery, and it's kind of warm and has like a ginger kind of appeal to it. So I rimmed the glass with lime and dipped it in a pomegranate sugar that I bought, because we deserve sweetness even when life's a little bit bitter. So shake everything with ice and strain it into a chill glass and put over. I use like a real big block of ice because that's the kind of mold I have for my ice, for my cocktails. And that's what we're working with. So I'm going to do my little taste test. That's good. And I always dry my own citrus. So whenever I have like oranges or lemons or limes laying around before they get bad and I have to throw them out, I cut them in thin slices and I put it on like parchment paper and put it in the oven real low and let it kind of dehydrate on its own. And then that's how you have your own little wheels of citrus. You can do orange, lemon, lime. That's what I do. Anyway, it's really good. I like it. I made a little heavier pour, so I have a refill amount. I can refill and take a break if I need to, if I finish this. But it's strong, so I might be slurring by the end of the night. So it's warm, regal, and it's a little dangerous. It's like a good reset season should be. So I named it the pyramid scheme because life will always try to stack itself against you. But when you understand your worth, you stop climbing somebody else's structure and you start building your own. So the sweet, the sour, the spice, they all kind of coexist here. And the same way you kind of have strength and softness inside of yourself. So this drink is a reminder that you are the foundation. Without you, the whole goddamn system will collapse. And we kind of see that in everyday life all the time. So our next segment is called Liquid Courage. All right, y'all. This week's Liquid Courage is less about what's in my glass and more about what's on the floor, because some of y'all can kind of see on my live that what's on my floor right now is boxes everywhere. Like, and not the cute aesthetic boxes from like the Container Store or nothing. Like, I'm talking real life chaotic. What the hell is even in this kind of box? Because I am in like a strange season where I am moving back into my house, but I am also preparing to sell it. So it's like I'm moving twice at the same damn time. So I'm trying to unbox enough stuff to function, purge enough to breathe, and save enough boxes so I don't feel wasteful when I have to move again. So basically, I'm just kind of living in a state of limbo, physically and mentally. But if I'm being real, this isn't just like a housekeeping problem. This is like a space pillar problem. So if you follow my 5 pillars of a full body reset, space is one of the full body pillars. And the clutter is not just taking up floor space, it's taking up brain space. Like, my space feels like my mind right now. It's halfway unpacked, halfway preparing to go. Nothing is settled, nothing is grounded, and it's hard as hell to find peace in a room that keeps reminding you of your next move. So, and this is the part that I don't think people talk about enough, is that your environment is not passive. It is a mirror, and it reflects the season of life that you're in, but it can also shape your season. So this is a prime example of my space pillar being out of alignment. And when that pillar is off, it kind of ripples into everything else. Like, your routine will shift, your motivation drops, your creativity kind of feels blocked, and your focus scatters, your discipline evaporates, your nervous system stays like on high alert, because the mess that's physically around you will not let your mind rest. And that is exactly where I have been. Like, on top of all that, my content rhythm is off. Like, my fourth quarter goals feel like they just been like sideswiped. And I'm just kind of working overtime to get my life together while trying not to feel like I am falling behind. And this maybe just be a part of the reset. Like, in my mind, I'm like, this is the reset, because all this sorting, selling stuff, donating, and just trashing and letting shit go, it isn't just about clearing a room up. It is about clearing the energetic weight of what I have been dragging around, because sometimes the stuff that you're holding on to is weighing more on your spirit than it ever will on a scale, right? And sometimes the cost of keeping something is higher than whatever you make selling it or donating it or giving it away or throwing it in the trash. Like, maybe peace of mind is the real profit, because holding on to all this shit is like causing more stress on my life. So this week I am giving myself permission to let go. And it's not perfectly, it's not neatly, it's not like with the chore chart or a Pinterest board, but honestly, it's like, if it doesn't support the woman that I am becoming, if it doesn't serve my next season that I'm entering into, and if it clutters my mind, my energy, or my peace, it doesn't get to come with me. Like, that shit has got to go. So if you feel like you are also in a season of chaos, or a season of transition, or rebuilding, or shedding old versions of yourself, you are not alone. So grab your Reset and Radiate journal at Bounty&Bliss.com. If you are on TikTok Live, you can go look in my shop and check out the Reset and Radiate journal that I created. It's the same tool that I'm using while I'm in this season to stay centered, while my life looks like an episode of Hoarders Spiritual Edition. And if you want to go deeper, where the conversations get real, raw, and restorative, you can click join on my YouTube channel and be a part of the Inner Sanctum. That's our members only space where we refill, do resets, and remember that healing is not linear. And the damn show ain't always pretty. So, all right, we're going to take a quick breath, take a sip before we get into what's next. All right. The pyramid scheme, this shit is so good. It is so tasty. I'm not even going to lie to you. This shit is good, especially with the sugar rim. Can give you like a little Sour Patch, a little kick in the throat real quick while you're drinking it. It's good. And then the cardamom bitters actually kind of taste like ginger. So it feels more like a ginger kind of spiciness to it. So it's really tasty. I do love it. The other week, I made a drink and it tastes like Robitussin. So if I don't like the shit, I'm going to tell you I don't like it. I'm going to still drink it, but I'm going to tell you that I don't like what I'm drinking because I ain't wasting the alcohol. But I will tell you if it's nasty to me. And I'm going to tell you how I made it. But some people like the way that cough syrup tastes. All right. So books and bottoms up. Let's get into it. Because this week's read, Bottom of the Pyramid by Nia Sioux. Yeah, we're going to talk about this one. I got a lot to say about this shit. I have a lot to say about this book. So we're going to be in for a wild ride with this. Because I have a whole diatribe about this damn book. So let's get into books and bottoms up. About Bottom of the Pyramid by Nia Sioux. So let me start by saying this loud and clear. I feel like a proud auntie watching Nia Sioux grow up to be such a beautiful and confident, strong, educated young woman who is out here living in her truth unapologetically. This is like one of my favorite real-time full circle moments that I've witnessed in pop culture. And the people criticizing her for speaking her damn truth, the same truth we all watch play out in Living Color on Dance Moms, need to get the fuck over it. All right? Because let's be very fucking clear. I don't give a damn what anybody has to say. Abby Lee Miller was a piece of shit before she even layered in the racism. Like, she was mean, she was cruel, she was manipulative, she was spirit crushing. Like, she was just dumpster juice nasty. And the way that she treated Nia, it wasn't like tough love, it wasn't coaching, and it wasn't like preparing her for the world. It was like abuse disguised as dance instruction. And a white woman's audacity wrapped up in rhinestones. It was like, none of it was shocking. None of it requires a think piece. We watched it. We saw it happen. And honestly, the only reason I made it past episode 2, season 1, was because of Holly and Nia. Like, that's the only reason why I tuned in. I did not care enough about a bunch of wannabe elite blue-collar baddies to stay engaged in that show like that. The only reason I tuned in was because of Holly and Nia, period. That's it. Did I want Holly to quit and push Abby's fat ass off of the chair? I absolutely did. It was enraging to watch Holly have to sit there and accept micro shit and macro aggressions every damn week from Abby and them raggedy ass moms. But the part that made me want to reach through the TV and commit like several acts of violence was seeing the slow breakdown of Nia's confidence, like week after week. You could see it. You could see that little girl just like being chipped away at for sport. And the network allowing that kind of targeted bullshit towards the token black girl was really indefensible. And I don't really give a damn what anybody says about that. And that is what makes bottom of the pyramid so damn important, because after everything she went through, after surviving an environment that was never designed for her to succeed, Nia is finally telling her story in her words with her power. And the same folks who watched her get humiliated in real time want her to move on. And it's like, bitch, she did. She moved on and leveled the fuck up, healed, and then came back and told her goddamn truth. So this book is not like drama. It's not rehashing. It's more of like a reclamation. Like, this is a girl who grew up and said, you don't get to rewrite the story just because I outgrew the pain. And that is exactly why some people are pissed off. And the fact that mostly the same white women who were cheering Abby on while she verbally abused a child have the nerve to criticize Nia for telling her truth. Like, bitch, be serious. Like, they want her quiet because her voice exposes the shit that they normalized. And let's talk about the real exploitation, because Dance Moms wasn't just messy. It was like a whole sociological experiment. And we, the black audience, saw clearly what the white audience pretended not to notice. That Abby had that little girl in a chokehold. Not physically, but emotionally, like mentally and spiritually. And those moms who sat there like, oh, well, Nia's not good enough. She's not a good dancer. She's not strong. It's just tough love. But tough love where and on who? Because Maddie ain't never got talked to like that. Brooke never got berated like that. Chloe never got demeaned to that degree. But the little black girl, Abby had time for it. Like, every week she had fucking time. And watching Holly sit through that shit, my God, today, that was like a master class in emotional restraint. Not because she didn't want to go off. You know, she wanted to go off because she knew exactly what stereotype they were waiting on. Like, they wanted her angry. They wanted her out there neck rolling and cussing and acting a fool, and they wanted her like throwing chairs and cussing folks out in the parking lot so they could just say, see, this is why Nia doesn't get the opportunities. They wanted the stereotype so they could justify Abby's racism. But Holly was like, not today, Satan. And listen, did I want Holly to quit? Yes. Watching it was painful, and I wanted Holly to slap the everlasting gravy out of Abby's mouth. I absolutely did. Like, I would have donated to that fucking GoFundMe. But the way that Holly protected her daughter while also protecting her dignity, it was like, it was chess, and they were stuck playing checkers. But have you ever like watched something and felt your blood pressure climbing? Like, that was me every damn week watching this show. Like, the tone that Abby used with Nia, the dismissiveness, like that whole you'll never be good enough energy. That shit wasn't just harsh coaching. It was like psychological warfare. And it wasn't subtle either. Like, she saved her sharpest darts for the only black girl on the show. And why? Why did she do that? And it was because she knew Nia would not be protected. She wasn't going to get protected by production. The moms weren't going to protect her. And her system would not protect her. And that is why the bottom of the pyramid hits like a brick to the fucking forehead, because Nia isn't telling us anything that we didn't witness. Like, we saw this shit in real time. So she's just giving us the emotional blueprint behind it. We saw the what, but her book is giving us the how it felt. And that is the story that we needed from her. And I feel like Holly deserves a fucking Emmy. Like, do you understand how heavy it is to sit in a space that hates you and still advocate for your child? Like, to fight for fairness with a smile that's slipping, but you still have to stand 10 toes down while somebody is trying to knock your daughter off of her square. But Holly played the long game. She refused to fulfill the stereotype they were baiting her into. And for that, she deserves her flowers. Like, Holly was doing calculus while the other moms was like counting on their fingers. And she was the only mother on that show raising her child to survive the real world and not the fucking glitter and glue gun bubble that Abby was running. And still, Abby and those moms would gaslight her every week. Like, I don't see a problem. Like, what's the big deal? Like, you know, of course you don't see a fucking problem, Susie. You never had to teach your daughter how to navigate whiteness with grace to avoid being punished for your existence. Like, the fuck? She carried all of that by herself while the cameras were rolling. So what they did to Nia's confidence is like low-key a fucking crime. And let's just kind of call it what it was. It was like systematic sabotage. Like, every week, Abby found a new way to tell Nia that you're not good enough, you don't belong, like you're a filler and you're replaceable. And every week, Nia just kept showing up, performing and smiling and just kind of tried and true, just standing through it. And that's so dangerous. Do you know how dangerous it is to teach a little black girl that her best will never be enough? How deeply that shit can embed itself in your spirit. And that's why watching her now, like winning and flourishing and telling her story, it feels so damn good to watch. Because despite Abby's best efforts, despite the macroaggressions, I can't even say microaggressions because the shit wasn't little. Like, the shit was huge to me. So I'm like, it's macroaggressions. It's not microaggressions. Despite the humiliation, the sabotage, like, despite the whole system just being built to keep her at the bottom, Nia still rose. And it's not because Abby helped her. It's because Abby couldn't stop her. So the network was not innocent. Lifetime knew exactly what they were doing. They saw the racism, they saw the mistreatment, and they saw the breakdown of that little black girl's spirit. And not only did they not do anything about it, but they edited for like maximum ratings. Like, they monetized Nia's pain. They packaged Holly's composure as drama. And they served Abby's bullying as entertainment. And that's why this book is so fucking necessary, because the world saw the surface. But Nia is giving us the story from the inside. And the gag is, she don't even have to exaggerate. The truth is loud enough. Like, we saw it. And this book matters because it isn't just about dance or reality TV or Abby Lee's dusty ass attitude. It is about the black girl experience in white spaces. This book is about the adultification of black children, the the exploitation of Black talent, the policing of Black mothers, the cost of being the only one, the burden of being resilient, the weaponization of composure, and the reclaiming of voice after years of suppression. This book is just a mirror. It's like a reckoning. It's you won't gaslight me about the shit that you aired in HD type of moment. And the best part is that Nia is not writing this from a place of bitterness. She is writing it from a place of healing. She didn't really have to drag anybody. She didn't have to lie. She just simply told the truth. And that is what is shaking the fucking table, because when the girl that they all tried to break stands up and finally speaks, everybody who benefited from her silence gets exposed. And let's be very fucking clear while we're here. Abby wanted an all-white, Aryan, blonde-haired, blue-eyed dance team. That's it. That's the sentence. I'm saying it with my chest. Like, she wanted a line of little clone Maddies, like a Stepford dance squad, like a master race majorette ensemble. And Lifetime rolled the cameras like, yes, this looks like great fun-filled family entertainment. But like, be for real, like, Nia was never supposed to be on that stage. Not in Abby's mind. She was not in her vision, and not in her little racist, Raggedy Ann ass imagination. And that is why she treated Nia like a placeholder and a slot filler. Just a body to balance out this line spacing, because it didn't matter that Nia was talented. It didn't matter that she worked harder than half of the dance room. And never mind that her mother was the only parent with an actual degree and some common goddamn sense. It didn't matter, because Nia didn't fit the all-American fantasy that Abby was trying to sell. And let me drop another little truth in the collection plate. The network forced Abby to put Nia on that team. Let's start there. Because contrary to the fairy tale Abby liked to tell, that she was like hand selecting the best dancers or the hardest workers, or whatever bullshit she tried to use to justify her racism, that is not why Nia was there. Nia was there because the executives of Lifetime knew exactly who their fucking core audience was. And I am speaking as somebody who is a national media buyer for years. Black women love Lifetime. They always have, and they always will. Like, we are a major demographic for the network. And you cannot build a hit reality show in America in 2010s with an all-white cast and expect Black women to tune in week after week. Like, without at least one Black girl in the mix, it wasn't going to happen. Like, it wasn't about diversity. It wasn't about opportunity. It wasn't because Abby saw some talent and wanted to nurture it. I mean, that's obvious that's not the fucking case, because look how she treated her. It was business. It was money, ratings, demographics, representation, optics. So let's be clear. The only reason Nia was on the elite team is because the network demanded it. Lifetime needed a Black girl because Black women needed to see somebody on that stage who looked like their daughters, their nieces, their grandbabies, or they wasn't gonna watch the show. Like, if they didn't have some representation, nobody was tuning in. And here's the kicker. I guarantee you, if you pull them team roster photos and group photos for every single elite team that Abby had ever created before the show, before Dance Moms, I fucking guarantee you are going to see like the whitest group photo you've ever laid eyes on. Like, you're going to see a white out, like Green Bay and the Winter Storm white, like Mormon Convention in Salt Lake City white, like raisins and the potato salad. Like, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Nia was the first. And that is exactly why Abby resented her being there. Because Abby wasn't just racist. She was pissed that her control had got interrupted. Like, she wasn't used to being told what to do. Especially not by a fucking network. Especially not about a fucking black child. So she took it out on Nia week after week. Season after season. Sabotage after sabotage. All because she wasn't the one who chose her. And that resentment kind of oozed out every time she opened her damn mouth to address her. And Lifetime knew that it just made good TV. So they let the little black girl take hit after hit for entertainment purposes, because again, black pain is profitable until the truth comes out. So let's talk about the burden, because this is where the bottom of the pyramid hits the hardest. As black girls, especially black girls in white spaces, like, we are conditioned to carry weights that nobody else in the room even sees. Like, and Holly and Nia knew it, and they knew that they carried a double load. The be excellent load, the don't give them a reason load, the represent all of us load, the don't show anger load, like the smile through the disrespect load, the prove yourself twice as much load, the don't embarrass us load. Like, that shit is fucking exhausting. It's dehumanizing. And honestly, it's a setup to kind of break you slowly. And that's exactly what Nia reveals in this book, that it just wasn't worth it. She didn't quit, because fucking black girls don't quit. Like, we don't do that shit. If you are put in a position or an opportunity, you conditioned to just push through it, to be strong, to not fold, like you're not gonna let them break you, and to not walk away from those type of opportunities. But she's being honest now as a grown woman about the misery that she endured, like the emotional erosion, the spiritual corrosion, and the way that her confidence just got carved down to dust. And she kind of admits it plainly that if she had to do it all again, that she wouldn't, because the price was just too goddamn high. And that is the part that a white audience just doesn't understand, or they will choose not to understand that, because for them, all they'll see is like, oh, well, she got the exposure, and that's what they see. But what we see is, yeah, she got the exposure, but at what fucking cost? Because I'm going to say this as a black woman who grew up in middle class around white folks, that shit is fucking exhausting, because you like have two routes that you take in that environment, and neither one of them is an easy route. It's like you're gonna take route one, which is find the other black kids, even if it's only two of y'all, and y'all are just gonna form a motley crew of misfits. It's like you take the us against them pact, you have your cafeteria table of solidarity, like that group becomes your lifeline, and you cling to each other like flotation devices in somebody else's ocean. But here's the real kicker in that scenario. You don't even get the luxury of having shit in common. It ain't no like, do we like the same music? Do we have compatible personalities? Like, do we even share the same hobbies? Like, please, it's like you could be a church kid and the other black girl could be like a chain smoking goth chick who listens to Slipknot. It don't even fucking matter. There is no organic chemistry. There is no like, I think we vibe type of shit. It's just straight up forced proximity bonding fueled by survival. And it's damn near like a last man alive type of energy. Like, you latch onto each other because the alternative is like drowning alone in this sea of whiteness that reminds you every single day that you are other, you are ostracized, and you are not one of them. And that's the thing, because you are not clinging to each other because you're besties. You're clinging because you share the same isolation, the same double consciousness, the same coded language, the same exhaustion, the same, I just want one person in this fucking building who understands me type of desperation. It's basically like emotional triage. I'm gonna sprinkle some historical seasoning on this, because if you're talking about a black kid who grew up like this in the 80s or 90s, the shit was like really fucking real. Our kids today don't have no idea why we so goddamn gangster. We are so quick to side eye, and we can clock microaggression from like 3 zip codes away, and we don't play about our boundaries because we just survived some wild shit. If you grew up in the 80s and 90s, we're a latchkey kid. You were home alone before the fucking street lights came on. Like, you were fixing full-fledged meals at 10 years old, and we were navigating a world with no cell phones, no trackers, no social media, no safe word, just an after-school special and the stranger danger PSA. Like, that's all we had. So we had to fight our way through the goddamn day. We had to fight on the bus, in the hallways, on the walk home, in the damn neighborhood. Like, we survived a bunch of shit. Like, Reaganomics, we survived the fucking crack epidemic, we survived gang violence, the fucking teenage pregnancy was crazy, and then we had Dare lying to us like they paid rent. It was just like you was in the movie Warriors every fucking day, like just trying to make it back to Coney Island. I'm just trying to make it home, just trying to make it through childhood without becoming a fucking statistic. And then when you finally found one other black kid in that goddamn environment, you was like, bitch, you my friend. I don't give a fuck if you like me or not. Like, you just became a 2-person tribe real quick. And it wasn't because it was easy or because it was perfect. It was because survival was easier with another person who understood the shit that you were going through. So that is root 1. That's the motley crew of misfits. It's messy. It's like trauma bonding and cultural refuge all rolled into one. But the emotional toll that you feel in Nia's stories is a bit different because she did not have a crew and she didn't have a tribe. She didn't have peers who understood her. She was the only one. And when you are the only black girl in the room, survival feels lonely as hell. And that is what leads us to route 2. The assimilation route is like blend in or die trying route. And this is the route that people try to keep quiet, because this is the one that kind of has you contorting yourself like a human pretzel just trying to survive socially. Because when you're the only black girl in a white environment, sometimes you end up becoming a whole damn caricature of yourself just to make it through the fucking school day. And in this route, this is the one that have you like frying your hair within an inch of his life because your curls and your coils and your kinks, like your God-given glory, doesn't fit in with everybody else's limp ass ponytails. And this is the route that have you in the bathroom at 6 a.m, spraying your hair down with Isoplus until it's literally fucking flammable. Then you sizzle it while it's soaking wet with a fucking crimping iron, trying to look like a goddamn extra on Saved by the Bell. Like, we was frying our hair like catfish just to get some crunchy ass crimps and still didn't fucking blend in. And let it be clear that Becky wasn't looking beachy. Like, there wasn't no Pantene commercial over there for us to really be comparing ourselves to, because she woke up looking crazy as hell. Hair dry and fried like fucking shredded wheat, split ends to the high heavens. It's giving straw. Like, it's giving scarecrow. It's giving finger stuck in the fucking electric socket. But we were the ones getting clowned. You know what I'm saying? Like, meanwhile, we out here over processing our hair with back-to-back box relaxers, flat ironing the life out of your roots, getting chemical burns, fucking up your hair follicles. All the while, your mama and them be talking and whispering like, oh, her hair just doesn't grow. But the real fucking gag is your hair will grow down your back to your goddamn knees if you just let it grow out your scalp the way God intended it to. But assimilation had us believing our hair was unruly, unprofessional. It was too black, too big. It was just it was like too much. When in reality, our hair was the only hair in the goddamn building with actual fucking structural integrity. And this is the route that will have you wearing fucking blue frosted eyeshadow like you auditioning for a spot on fucking Ice Capades. This is the route where you show up in bright neon bubblegum lipstick that make your teeth look like you got on fucking gold fronts. This is the route where you are still doing the most to fit into a group that still will clown you for trying to belong. And then you go along with it and pretend you're in on the fucking joke, even though you know you the fucking punchline. Because when you call it out, that makes you sensitive or dramatic or angry or whatever fucking coded bullshit that they invent that day to make you responsible for their behavior. So you end up laughing with them, but in your spirit, you're screaming like, bitch, I know you laughing at me. And the worst part, when you do this, you will start to lose track of where they end and where you begin. Because assimilation is expensive. The price isn't money. The price is identity. It's dignity. It's self-trust. It's like the slow erosion of your self-worth in exchange for proximity to whiteness. And that shit still won't save you when the shit hits the fan. And that is what Nia's story screams about, like between every line. She didn't just assimilate into a dance team, she assimilated into a culture where her entire existence was treated like a fucking inconvenience. And she had to smile through the jokes that stung and dance through criticism that cut her deep and swallow emotions that any other girl would have just been allowed to express. She had to dim herself to make them comfortable. And she still got treated like an outsider. And that is why her conclusion that it wasn't worth it matters so much. Because when she finally walked away, she didn't just walk away from a dance studio. She walked away from a system that made her feel like she had to shrink to survive. Because that assimilation route, it will leave you empty, hollow, and exhausted. It will have you questioning everything about yourself. It has you making choices you never would have made if you've been surrounded by people who just saw you as a human, as beautiful, as talented, as deserving, as enough. And honestly, Nia changed and decided to leave the show once Abby's ass went to jail, and then they had Debbie Allen come in and they had Lorianne Gibson come in, and they poured into her in a different way in which that they could provide constructive criticism to her without tearing her down. They could criticize whatever she did do or didn't do correctly, but they still built her up in the process and poured into her in the process. And when you finally get to the other side to that, and when you start healing, and when you find community that loves you and actually fucking likes you, and when you walk into rooms where you don't feel outnumbered and out of place, you'll look back like, why the fuck was I even trying to fit into that bullshit? And that is like the revelation of this book. That is Nia's clarity, and that is her freedom. It's like, fuck their table, fuck their approval, fuck the version of yourself you had to become to survive that environment. Because life is better, it's fuller, it's softer, it's so much more joyous when you stop assimilating and start aligning. Look, we got to talk about the next layer too, because assimilation doesn't always just stop at blending in. Because the next layer is when assimilation metastasizes and it gets into your bloodstream, and it kind of starts rewriting your identity from the inside out. And it starts as, I just want to fit in, but it turns into, I don't want to be anything that reminds me of where I come from. And that, my friends, is how you end up with a generation of Clarence Thomases and Candace Owens and Stevens from Django, like tap dancing like their life depends on it, ignoring the truth. Because when you spend years contorting yourself to be accepted, and you spend years being rewarded for distancing yourself from blackness, when you spend years of trying to prove you are one of the good ones, You don't just lose track of where they end and where you begin. You lose track of where you end and where the white gaze begins. And that's when people start internalizing every harmful stereotype white folks ever whispered around them, like black people are too emotional, black neighborhoods are dangerous, black culture is unprofessional, black women are loud, black men are aggressive. And they swallow that shit whole and they start believing it. And then they start repeating it. And then they become the spokesperson for their own oppression. And at that point, assimilation is like a fucking religion. It becomes a personality trait, like a survival tactic turned identity crisis. And it's the internalization of white supremacy on a micro level, so quiet, it's so insidious, they don't even realize it until the damage is done. And thankfully, that is a thing that Nia avoided by getting out when she did. That is a thing that Holly shielded her daughter from by keeping her grounded in who she was at home. And that is something that saved Nia's humanity. Like, because if she had stayed in that shit any longer, if she had absorbed any more of Abby's and the mom's bullshit, like if she spent her childhood feeding that beast, who knows how deep the self-hatred could have gone? Like, who knows how much of herself she would have lost? Who knows if her spirit would have survived that? Like, there's a reason why we say that all skin folk ain't kinfolk. And there's a reason why we watch certain black figures and say, oh, assimilation got that Negro by the throat. Like, it's because when you internalize racism long enough, you stop needing white people to oppress you and you do the damn job for them. So Nia broke that cycle, thank God, and she left before the poison settled, and she chose herself before the damage was permanent. And reclaimed what the environment tried to strip away. And that is why her story means something. It's not just about dance. It's not just about Abby, and it's not about fucking Lifetime. It's about refusing to let a system make you hate yourself. And it's about walking away before you become the villain in your own story. It's about saving the parts of you that whiteness tried to erase. And that is liberation. Now, we got to tie all this bullshit together because everything we just talked about, the assimilation and then the motley crew, the self-erasure, the stereotypes, the trauma, it all kind of funnels back to one thing. Abby's fucking pyramid scheme. Let me take a sip of the drink. Let me take one more. Let's get honest. That little pyramid that Abby taped to her wall every week, that wasn't just a fucking ranking. It was like a business model, a literal exploitation hierarchy. Like, guess who's always on the fucking bottom? Guess who was the foundation? Guess who carried that whole system on her shoulders? Nia fucking Sioux. Nia was the fucking foundation of the goddamn pyramid. And it's not even subtle. It's not hidden. It's in the title of her damn book. But let's call it what it is, which is a fucking scam. It's a psychological Ponzi scheme that Abby built her entire TV persona and her entire brand, her entire villain arc, and her entire storyline on humiliating this little black girl. And the network knew it. Like, they banked on it. They produced it. They profited from it. And there is a reason why Nia was the last one fucking standing. Is a reason why she outlasted all the others. And is a reason that her story still resonates. Because unlike the other girls who Abby just kind of cycled through like worn out point shoes, Nia was the fucking plot. The racism was the storyline. Like, her suffering was the fucking cliffhanger. Her mistreatment was the hook. So every time that fucking pyramid came out, who was on the bottom? Nia. Even when she outperformed, even when she worked twice as hard, even when she took on roles that were demeaning or nobody else would touch, Abby didn't see Nia as a student. She saw her as a fucking check. A guaranteed emotional beating in every episode. It's like a storyline that she could poke at like a wound. And Abby only gave a fuck about one person, honestly, in the whole show, and that was Maddie. Everybody else was collateral damage, background props, pyramid filler. But Nia, Abby had special smoke for her. Like, she sabotaged her over and over again. Roles that she should have danced were denied. Solos that she earned were snatched away. Choreography that she nailed was like downplayed. Every accomplishment that she had on that show was minimized. And why? Why? Because a confident, celebrated Nia didn't feed the pyramid. A thriving Nia didn't sell episodes. A shining Nia didn't fuel Lifetime's ratings. And that's what makes this whole thing a fucking scheme. Because behind all that fucking glitter, all the drama, all the fake ass tears and rhinestones was a woman who built an empire on the emotional destruction of a child she never wanted in the first fucking place. And now, look at her. It's like life that said, let me show you something. Abby ain't never known a day of joy in her life. That bitch look like Leatherface right now. Her health is terrible. She a felon. Her reputation is in the toilet. And her karma is like fucking paid in full. Meanwhile, Nia and Holly, they might as well have sat on national TV and hooked two fingers and been like, until you do right by me, everything you even think about is going to crumble. And baby, it did. Nia out here securing the bag. Her book is a bestseller. Life, she's fucking thriving. Her education is top tier. She got multiple streams of income. Her social media is popping. Like, you could tell her self-worth is untouchable. She is the definition of God said, you will rise, not the pyramid. She is the success story that Abby tried to prevent. She's the proof that no matter where they place you, top, middle, or bottom, your purpose does not need permission. Nia was at the bottom of the pyramid, but now she the one standing on the top of her own. And listen, pressure busts pipes, but it also builds diamonds. So you can decide which one is who when you look at their lives right now. Who the busted, leaky ass pipe? Sputtering, rusted, unusable, held together by duct tape and delusion. And who's the diamond? Polished, precious, protected, unbreakable, thriving. Exactly. Case fucking closed. So I'm giving bottom of the pyramid 5 cheers and 5 shots. Because this tea, it was piping hot. And let me tell you something right now. I am a biased auntie. So I'm bigging my TV niece up with my whole chest. So you better go buy that book. Go buy the goddamn book. Buy the audio book. Follow that baby on all platforms. And you better support my niece. You understand? Fuck out of here. That's what I'm doing. Because it was a really good read. You can listen to it, the audiobook. It's her reading it. That's what I end up listening to, audiobook. But it was very good and entertaining, and it was nice to see her thriving. All right, let's get into Pour Your Heart Out. Because, baby, the news cycle has been on crack lately. Do you hear me? It's out of control. First of all, I want to give a big shout out and big ups to the federal judge who originally said that these raggedy ass, racially gerrymandered Texas maps were illegal as fuck. He looked at that bullshit and was like, absolutely not try again. Because at this point, the only thing holding this whole democracy together seems like it's like some dental floss, maybe a few toothpicks, some chewed up bubble gum and scotch tape, and then these last few judges who still believe in the rule of law. Everybody else is fucking unhinged. But then here comes this raggedy ass Supreme Court. Like, actually, let's put a pin in that. So let me break it down for you if you don't know what the hell I'm talking about. A federal court panel ruled that the new 2026 Texas congressional map was racially gerrymandered. They blocked it and they said, nah, y'all gonna have to use that 2021 map because this new shit is racist. And Texas naturally appealed. And because the presidency or this administration has the Supreme Court in their back pocket, Justice, my wife is out here planning coups, Samuel Alito swooped in and said, let's temporarily keep the racist map in place while we think about this. And now the Supreme Court is deciding whether these dusty ass Republicans get to keep their illegal advantage in 2026. And you know what? I feel like at this point, we need to be fucking demanding a complete judicial do-over because the Republicans stole two of Obama's Supreme Court nominees, Merrick Garland, and then the seat that opened after Ruth Bader Ginsburg passed away. So they stole those two and then they hijacked the process. They violated the norms and handed us this clown car of a court that is doing gymnastics to be puppets to the administration and uphold voter suppression. Not just voter suppression, but it just seems like oppression to anybody that goes against what the right believes are so-called conservative values, because I don't even know if they have values anymore. It just feels like this country's being held hostage by people who don't even like democracy. They like power, and that is a big difference. But I'm still out here hoping that there's like a real B613 somewhere. Like, where are you guys? We blinking twice. Like, please handle some shit behind the scenes for us. I'm not saying, you gotta do anything crazy, but I'm just saying you got to do something. Now, the other breaking news of the day is that Marjorie Taylor Gremlin, you may also know her as the old bad built bleach botch body, just announced her resignation starting in January. And I'm just like, oh, okay, so she's leaving now. Oh, she's tired. Now she wants to focus on her family. And I'm just like, nah, that bitch is running scared. Because her own policies are finally like boomeranging back to her doorstep and the walls are caving in, and suddenly she's on this apology tour talking about finding unity. And I'm just like, girl, fuck you. I'm not interested. We as a collective are not interested, because here's the gag. She is only apologizing now because she is finally feeling the real life consequences of the same hateful and reckless and ignorant ass policies that she's been pushing on everybody else. And that's just what we call karma. And that bitch don't hardly ever miss. She be on time. Do you hear me? And like our dear ancestor, Dr. Maya Angelou, would say, when people show you who they are, believe them. And guess what? I believe every last one of these motherfuckers. Do you hear me? I ain't letting shit go. I'm gonna believe what the hell you show me, what you tell me. Because from this point moving forward, I'm like ready to hold everybody accountable for their bullshit, their bigotry, their lies, their scams, and whatever other dumpster juice energy that they bring into people, because they're out of control. And I'm just at the point where I'm like, bitch, try Jesus. Don't try me. All this meditation and journaling and yoga and therapy and prayer and incense burning, sipping tea and practicing Zen life and peaceful life. It's not because I'm trying to just be peaceful for the world. I'm trying to keep myself off y'all's ass. Like, do not let the smooth taste fool you. Do not let the affirmations confuse you. Do not let this beautiful, soothing, grounding voice trick you. Because like James Baldwin told us, to be black and conscious in America is to be in a constant state of rage. And that is why I'm minding my business and drinking my water and focusing on my healing and my joy and my peace and my black ass business. That is what keeps us safe. Safe from the bullshit, safe from the gaslighting, safe from the manipulation, and safe from catching charges. And while we're here and we're talking about politics and pop culture, let me go ahead and address something else that has really been grinding my gears and had my spirit doing the electric slide on the landmine this week. Because our dear forever First Lady, Michelle LaVaughn Robinson Obama, just released this stunning and beautifully gorgeous coffee table book called The Look. And it is taking us through her entire style journey from childhood to the Harvard years, to the White House, to them thigh-high boots and the boho braids that look moisturized like she deep conditioned with holy water. Like, listen, let me tell you something. People can play about a lot of shit. They can play about a lot. But what we are not going to do, and what I am never going to do or allow, is us to pretend like Michelle Obama was not fly as fuck every single time she stepped her foot outside the door. She stayed fly. I don't care if she was planting tomatoes in the garden. She ain't never had one hair out of place. She didn't have one wrinkle in her outfit. She didn't have one moment where she did not look like global elegance personified. No other first lady, except for Jackie O. You got to give Jackie her props, has ever had that level of cultural impact. Her fashion, her presence, her aura, her poise, intelligence, and her overall influence. Like, Michelle Obama is in a class by herself. There is no competition. So imagine my shock and awe. Like, I have been, my gas have been flabbered this week. Well, all of a sudden, like, I'm starting to see all these, like, self-hating Aunt Thomasina's crawling out the woodwork, talking sideways about her while she's on this book tour. And I'm just like, what the, like, oh, hell no. Absolutely the fuck not. Because let me tell you something. I have not in my entire life, decades on this earth, I have never, ever heard one single black woman ever utter one negative comment or one negative word about Michelle Obama. Not one. So all of a sudden, these opinions and these critiques and all of this, she thinks she's too good, or I'm just convinced that they are bots, like, or moles, or paid trolls, or just bored, miserable people who don't moisturize, because there is no way in hell a black woman with some common damn sense, some seasoning, or self-respect will ever feel bold enough to come for Michelle Obama publicly. I don't anybody's watched that I fucking know. And to be crystal clear, I'm just going to say there used to be a time when discourse was fine and it was healthy and normal and we could just disagree without shit getting weird. But now in this climate with everything that's fucking going on, this is the stance you want to take. You want to talk about Michelle Obama not being able to speak to the experience of Black women and their hair in America? Like, what the fuck? If you're watching this and listening to this and you don't like what I'm saying about race, politics, or Black women's experiences, I do not care. Like, just go somewhere else. Go find somebody else to bother. Go complain in your own community and go argue with your people, because I am not the person to do that with, and this is not that space. Because at this point, if you can justify, deny, twist, or dismiss any Black person's lived experience in this country, just please, and I say this with love, sincerity, and full spiritual clarity, go to your side of the internet and leave us the fuck alone. I'm not interested in being goaded into arguments by people who don't even want to understand, but are being purposefully obtuse. And I don't owe you any explanations. I don't owe you the emotional labor. I don't owe you any justification for how I see this world. This perspective is mine and it's rooted in my own lived experiences, my community, and my identity. And let's just keep it a buck. I cannot think of one single time in my entire life where I sought out a random white person's video on social media that I didn't agree with and I commented under it. I've never done that, not once. Because why? Like, why would I do that? I actually avoid that shit at all costs. Like, I do not engage. I don't want to know what the fuck they got going on. I do not care. I'm not curious. I'm not perplexed. And I'm not emotionally invested in whatever the fuck y'all got going on. I'm trying to maintain the fucking news feed. I don't care what y'all doing in your personal life. That's why when y'all build these all white cities, like, duh, it's been all white cities all across America. You heard the fucking Green Book? Like, we've been knowing about sundown towns and shit our whole fucking life. Don't nobody give a fuck if you have your own town in the middle of fucking Arkansas. We don't care. Don't nobody want to be around that shit. Like, please isolate yourselves from society. Do everybody a big fucking favor. You ain't hurting our feelings. Whatever you got going on, it ain't my ministry. It's not my calling. It ain't my burden. So if whatever I'm saying, and if anything that I'm saying is a hot spot for you, or it's hitting a sore spot, or you feel personally offended and feel tempted to write me a think piece in my comments, let me help you out. Don't. Because when I post things on my YouTube channel, or I post something real or something grounded, something rooted in my lived experiences as a Black woman in America, here comes the confused Caucasians in my comments. Like, I don't understand. Or, why are your affirmation videos for Black women? Like, bitch, because they are. Like, because that's what the fuck I made them to be. I make content for my community. I speak to my people, and my healing work, my resets, my affirmations, my prayers are crafted with Black women in mind, because we need them. And if you happen to come across and enjoy, thank you. I appreciate you for listening. But if you don't, and if it offends you, or if it somehow confuses you, or you feel excluded in some way, then, sweetheart, take your confusion, wrap it in a blanket, and go sit on somebody's couch and talk to them about it. Because I do not give one single solitary fuck. I don't give a damn. You are not the target demographic, and you are not the intended audience. Everything ain't for everybody. I'm not seeking your patronage or your approval. So stop fucking stalking Black content creators who are catering to their community. Stop lurking in our spaces. Stop trying to decipher our joy, our humor, our culture, and our fucking motion. And if you don't like it, just fucking scroll. Leave to the left, exit stage left. We are busy minding our own business. We're minding our business, our Black ass business. Trying to stay free, trying to remain free in our minds and our hearts and our spirits in a country that tests our patience on the fucking daily. And guess what? Bitch, we tired. All right? We tired and we sick of y'all shit. We trying to maintain. Leave us the fuck alone. Let us mind our business and drink our water. Okay? All right, y'all. Whew. Let's breathe. Let's shift. Let's release some of this heat. It's been hot. I've been on one all fucking night. Let's slide into welcome to the woosah, because after that, we need it. Woosah. All right, let's just pause for a second, because after all of that, we need a reset, a real one, because it was a lot. So wherever you are, sitting, standing, driving, hiding from your kids in the bathroom, just take a moment with me and let's breathe. Inhale. Hold it at the top and exhale through your mouth like you're blowing out somebody's dusty ass energy that tried you this week. Let's do it again. Inhale. Hold it at the top and release. As you release, I want you to feel your shoulders drop. Feel your jaw unclench. Let your eyebrows relax. Soften your forehead. And feel your spirit not soften, but settle. Because here's the truth. We can talk politics, racism, survival, identity, and revolution all day long. But our bodies need space to land after carrying that much weight. So this is your reminder that you are not a machine. You are not a dumping ground, and you're not an emotional sponge. You're not built to hold everything without pausing. You are a whole human being with a nervous system that loves you enough to sound the alarm when you have had enough. So in this moment, give yourself permission to just be. Not be strong, not be productive, not performing, not shrinking, not bracing for impact. Just be here. Right now is enough. Let me add this. Woosah doesn't mean you are calm all the time. It doesn't mean that you never get triggered or tired or overwhelmed. It doesn't mean that you are not allowed to snap sometimes, because the world is acting like it hates peace. And so woosah simply means I am returning to myself. It means I am choosing me again. I'm choosing clarity again. I'm choosing peace as a practice and not a performance. And if your peace looks like silence, then that's good. If your peace looks like boundaries, even better. If your peace looks like muting people, blocking people, logging the hell off, or minding your damn business for the rest of the year, well, you are well within your rights to do that, boo. Because the world will drain you dry and then get offended when you say that you're empty. So listen, before we wrap this moment of stillness, let me tell you something that a lot of people will not say out loud. Sometimes choosing you means that you shaking the goddamn table because people keep getting you fucked up. And guess what? That's okay. Choosing yourself is not always gentle. It's not always soft, and it's not always peaceful on the outside, even when it's necessary for peace on the inside. Sometimes choosing you means saying the things that you have been swallowing for years. Sometimes it means setting a boundary that you have avoided because you didn't want to hurt somebody's feelings. Sometimes it means walking away before you become the thing that you're trying to heal from. And sometimes it means flipping a metaphorical table because folks keep testing your patience, your kindness, and your intelligence. Like you want to grab the whole spirit of Malcolm and your big mama and remind him exactly who you are. But after you shake that table, express those feelings and get them out. Let that shit move through your body instead of settling in your body. And then come back to your happy place. Come back to your breath. Come back to your grounding and come back to yourself. Because real growth and real maturity and real alignment is learning to turn the tables without raising your blood pressure, your cortisol levels, and losing your damn mind. That's the balance right there. Knowing when to speak up, when to stand firm, and when to step back into your peace. Because you deserve to live in your body without carrying the weight of other people's bullshit. So let's take one last breath together, a deeper one this time. Let's inhale and feel your chest, your ribs, and your belly. And then hold it. And exhale like you're releasing every last strand of chaos that tried to latch onto you. There it is. There you are. Welcome back home to yourself. You just chose you. And that is the real woosah. All right, y'all. We finally got to the end. Woo. And it was a journey. If you made it through this episode with me, God bless you. Bless your heart, your spirit, and your nervous system. Because we went from the pyramid scheme of Abby Lee's bullshit to the survival tactics of Black girlhood. To judges trying to save democracy with paper clips and a prayer. To defending Michelle Obama like she pays my bills, and honestly, she deserves it. And we slid straight into a woosah that probably saved at least 3 of us from catching the case this week, including me. Because listen, peace is a practice. It's not a personality trait. And some days the practice is hanging on by a thread. But we show up anyway. And we showed up today and we told the truth anyway. And we reclaimed ourselves anyway. So whether you are listening at work or you're folding laundry or you are sitting in your car pretending that you're on the phone because you didn't want to go back in the house, I appreciate you. I appreciate your presence and I appreciate your patience as we navigate this wild ass world together, one sip, one page, and one boundary at a time. If today's episode resonated with you, share it, save it, send it to the friend who needs to know she's not crazy, she's not alone, and she ain't imagining this shit. And if you are ready to go deeper into the resets, the affirmations, the real conversations, the videos of this podcast, and the behind the scenes chaos of my life, join the Inner Sanctum on YouTube. That's where we unpack the messy, the meaningful, and the girl, you won't believe this shit stories that you can't always post publicly. And as always, head to Bounty&Bliss.com for the tools, journals, and essentials that help you build your own table, your own foundation, and your own peace. And before I let y'all go, let me say this with love. I need y'all to clock in. I need you to send me some book recommendations and send me your pour your heart out listener letters on the vault on bountyandbliss.com. You can submit those on the vault. There are forms for you to submit your book recommendations and forms for you to pour your heart out and provide us with a listener letter. Slide in my comments, tag me, write me something. Let me know y'all listening and you're paying attention, because sometimes podcasts can feel like I'm like talking into a void sometimes, and I just need a little love back. You know what I'm saying? A little engagement, a little girl, we hear you. Drop it in the comments and tell me what you think about the podcast so far. Your favorite segments, your favorite drag, your favorite, I didn't know that she was this damn crazy moment. Like, I need you to give me some feedback, and keep in mind that I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit. So come correct, but say something. I need to know. All right, I'm done. See you next time when we explore new booze, new books, and new boundaries. Until then, don't forget to drink your water and mind your business. Y'all have a blessed day. Love you. Bye.